Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we're doing a really fun thing today. We're going to be doing a demo of these two looks, one on each eye, using Makeup by Mario, his new collection. I went a little bit crazy on the launch, so I got all three palettes, two of the crystal reflectors, the mixing medium, and I'm probably gonna try one of the black pencil liners, maybe. But I am so excited. Mario has been one of my biggest inspirations within the last few years. My biggest inspiration of all time is Kevin Aquan, for sure. But anyway, Mario is another influence that I really have a connection with, especially because he is a Sephora or former Sephora employee. That's where he got his roots, and now he has his own line which is exclusively available at Sephora with us. So very proud to see that come full circle, and it gives a lot of hope for me as someone who is aspiring to maybe have my own line one day. Here are the palettes. For these looks I am going to be using the metallics palette on one eye, the metals on this eye, and the mattes on both. So let me just do a quick zoom in of the product so you guys can see. This is the matte palette, really beautiful, and they're meant to be natural skin tones, and I gotta say they're probably the best matte formula I've ever used, and I'm slightly biased but also not. Here's the metals palette. This is incredible. You can mix them, create custom shades, and they're just amazing, and a little goes a long way. Here's the metallics palette. And then the crystal reflectors, and you can kind of see they have that tiny super fine micro shimmer to them. So first thing I'm going to do is take the lightest shade in the mattes palette. I'm going to go over the entire eye area to create a base. I don't use a primer with this palette. I tried it with it and I prefer it just on its own. You don't need to be careful with this stuff, just get it on there. I'm then going to go in with this peachy shade. It's the third one in from the left. I'm using his blending crease brush. Then going in with the second shade in from the left, it's kind of like a camel tone. And I'm just creating that dimension, making sure that everything's nice and blended. And I'll come to this eye after. Then going into this shade right here, one row down, and it's the first shade in from the right hand side. Taking a little bit of that on that brush. I'm gonna pounce it in first, and then move that color over. You guys can see how seamlessly these blend. And this is going to be a cut crease, so don't worry about the bottom or if any color gets on the lid. It's more important to just make sure the upper region of the eye is blended out. Repeat that step. This is all about layering. I'm just using a really light pressure. You guys can see I'm also holding my brush at the back of the handle. This gives me really precise control, and then my hand's not in front of my vision, so really makes things easy. I'm gonna bring that color down below. And then gonna take his flat shading brush and this shade right here, this dark brown. I'm going to pat that right on the outer corner, kind of bringing it up towards the brow. And then I'm gonna turn my brush so that the color is on the top side and blend right into the crease. And now I'm going to go back in with the previous lighter shade and just smoke out that edge. Then go back in with the blending brush with no product on it. Cool. Now we're going to go into our warmer colors. So I'm going to take this terracotta shade, one in from the right hand side on the second row. Really pounce that on at that outer corner. And then blend up. And you'll notice I'm picking my brush up each time so that the color is only going in one direction. This will save you a lot of time if you learn to use directional blending versus just going back and forth and in circular motions. I'm going to take that small brush and I'm going to go in with this deeper red tone right here, the first shade on the left in the bottom row. Pounce that right in. We're really just doing the same steps over and over. Flip my brush, cut the crease. This is going to be a pretty dark eye at the crease, so we really need to make sure that there is layers so that there's not just like a dark line that comes out of nowhere. Now I'm going to go into that next shade over a little bit darker with my flat shading brush. Pounce that in at that outer corner. Turn your brush, kind of wing it up a little bit. Just like that. And now I'm actually going to go back in with this shade here, just add a little bit of warmth and diffuse that top edge a little bit. Now we're going to go in for our darker colors. I'm going to take a smaller brush, really tiny little one, dark brown, and this is going to go right at the lash line. Really focus that color, get it saturated, and then bring it up. Now this color we do want in the crease, so take just a little bit. I'm going to start that line. Using that brush to blend out, no additional color. And I'm going to take a little bit of the black, tiny bit, right on the outer edge. Moving it up, whatever color is left on the brush, go into the crease. So we have that really dark crease, taking his precise blending brush and this shade right here. I'm going from an upward angle just to diffuse that line. I'm going to go in with that darker red, diffuse the line even more, but keeping it a little bit lower and in the socket of the eye. We're just trying to diffuse the line now at the top portion, focusing just on the inner corner, just to soften that, and then carry over. Cool, now we can cut the crease with the metallics. Okay, so now that we have the crease and mattes done, I'm gonna go in with a small shading brush. This is actually not from Mario's collection. I have a favorite brush for doing this type of precise work with wet and cream products. So taking the palette, there is a little trough here to like scrape some product into and mix the medium in here. I don't like doing that. I feel like you use more than you need. So I wet the brush, dip it into the pigment, and then apply. So I'm taking the brush, I'm just doing like 2 drops. I'm gonna start off with the gold. So I'm just gonna go in, you can kind of see it forming a paste. I'm gonna go right along the line that we made. I'm gonna go all the way to the lash line. I'm gonna go over that one more time, and we're really gonna clean that line up. And I love how full of pigment these are. You don't need a concealer to cut the crease first. You can literally just go in right with these. Then I'm going to move on to the kind of rose gold copper shade, making sure to keep looking down. I want to let that fully dry so it doesn't transfer. This liquid does waterproof things, but it does need a little bit to dry. So if you go going into the copper, making a little bit of a paste, and this I'm going to take on the outer corner. Just like that, and you want to kind of foil and ombre them together. And then lastly, we're going to put silver right on the middle. So stay looking down, let that dry. And this is going to be a little bit difficult to do because it is such a contrasting shade, but start right at the lash line, in the middle of the eye, as if you were doing a halo eye. Slowly move it up. I'm going to dip back into the rose gold. Kind of blend them together. so they mesh, and then same thing with the gold. And just like that. I'm going to take Mario's flat shading brush and go in basically with all the same browns that we used on the upper lid, and then connect it to the outer wing. So keep going in with deeper and deeper shades until those two connect. And then for the black, take a little bit of a smaller precise brush like the detail blender and just take a little bit right on the outer V on the lower lash line and kind of extend it past where your natural lash line goes and connect that up. So for our wing today, we will be using the Rare Beauty liner from Selena Gomez. This has just been my favorite lately, so I'm going to take this right from the outer corner. Just like that. And then kind of parallel to where the center of my eyeball arches is where you want to draw the wing out from if you have slightly hooded eyes. Just like that. Because I don't have a ton of lid space, I don't bring liner across my entire upper lash line. Keep it just out there, and then I'll draw an inner corner wing. So look straightforward, come up to that inner corner, and slowly bring that color over to your lower lash line. And then look up. Connect that in. That's pretty much it. So we're gonna do lashes. I'm gonna start on this eye and then we'll do lashes at the end for both. Okay, so that is the first eye done. We're gonna move on to the second using the mattes palette again as a base and then the metallics. So I'm gonna do a really different shape and everything for this one. Kind of want like a halo eye. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here. Put it right on the outer corner. Kind of blend down. And then soften the edges. Taking that same color on the inner corner, just like that. Then taking this guy right here, putting it on the inner corner, blending that up, avoiding the center of the eye. And then I'm going to take that color on the lower lash line. Taking my precise blending brush, getting in the inner corner, starting that kind of halo shape, blending this up on the outer corner, and then connecting it in. I'm going to take that first color that we used, this one here, I'm just going to use that to soften those edges. Halo eyes really shouldn't take a long time. I feel like I watch a lot of tutorials and they're like 20 minutes long and I don't understand why. So just kind of get each inner and outer corner dark, blend out the edges. That's a little aggressive. I'm going to connect them a little bit. A little inner corner mistake that I made, that's okay. We're just going to ignore it and pretend that we didn't do that. Actually, we can go in with the lighter shade, kind of block it out. Now taking a little brush and take this dark black right in that inner corner, kind of go up there. So halo eyes are one of my favorite types of looks to do because they are so fast. They really don't take too much time at all. With this dark shade, I'm taking like a wing shape too, just to get that mapped out and started. Cool. And then I'm going to take my blending brush and take one of the lighter browns we used earlier. Just go right at the top and make sure everything's nice and soft. But I'm just going back and forth with the same colors that I used previously, just to soften those edges, make sure that everything has a nice cohesion, really making sure those two areas connect. I'm really going to change my eye shape on this side, so I'm going to bring it down past where my natural lash line is, as you can see. I'm now going to go in with a black kohl liner from Givenchy. And I'm actually going to draw that right at the base of the lashes and halfway up the lash line. But don't bring it into the crease, like stop it right at the crease. And this part doesn't need to be too clean. Now we're going to go into the metallics palette. I'm so excited. So I'm going to do kind of like a burgundy rusted look. So I'm coming right on the center of the eye. Top of the black, they totally change. So I'm actually going to use my finger. I'm going to bring this over the entire lid. This shade right here, and I'm going to use the one next to it, also with my finger. This is more of a rusty tone. And I really want to use this blue, so we're going to see how that looks. It might look stupid. Yeah, I actually don't like that together. Let's just do the whole thing blue then. So that's so pretty. I'm actually going to try using it with the liquid. Oh wow. That's so beautiful. Because I'm a sucker for gold, I'm going to put a little bit of the top right hand corner gold in the center of the lid. Do that halo eye that I had originally planned on doing and then kind of abandoned. I'm striping that right down the center, patting that in and kind of softening the edges. And I want that focus at the lash line. That's where it's really important to have that bright. I'm now going to go in and deepen the lower lash line, so taking those same browns and then really dark brown right in that inner corner, really dark brown in the outer corner, and then we'll put the blue and the gold in the center again. So pretty, oh my gosh. And then we'll put the gold right in the middle on the lower lid. Alright. So guys, they're both eyes completed. I'm going to quickly do the rest of my face and lashes, and then we'll be back to do a final reveal. Okay guys, and here is the finished look with contacts. I just popped in the style Polar Lights Crystal. These are from a company called Poly Eye that reached out to me, and they sent me a couple styles of lenses, so this is the first that I'm featuring in a video. These are probably my favorite, so I love this style. But yeah, let me do a close-up. And that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next one. Sorry the ending was a little bit choppy. I had initially wanted to do the contacts in and I forgot about it. So, alright, but yeah, if you guys are not subscribed, please do so. And then until then, I will see you on my next one. Bye.